Good morning, everyone. Today, my topic of presentation is Political Violence in Democracies, an Introduction, an article which is written by Andrea Ruggieri, Ursula Duxaker, and Neeraj Prasad in 2025. Now, coming to the introduction, this slide provides the conceptual foundation of the article. It argues that democracy should not be assumed to automatically prevent violence. Instead, democratic institutions may hide subtle forms of coercion. This article was published in the Journal of Peace Research in 2025. Now, let us come to the author's background, where Andrea Ruggieri, she was the professor of political science at the University of Milan. She is a distinguished scholar whose work explores the intersections of democracy, conflict, and peace operations. Ursula Duxaker was a professor at the University of Amsterdam. She is recognized for her extensive research on political violence, electoral integrity, and organized crime. Neeraj Prasad is the assistant professor at the same university, and he contributes a comparative perspective focusing on nationalism, party politics, and state formation. Collectively, their interdisciplinary expertise lends the article both analytical rigor and empirical breadth. Now, the key focus of the article is that the authors show that democracies are not free of political violence. Instead, violence exists in hidden or normalized forms. They also criticize peace research for overly romanticizing democracy. Some of the identified blind spots here are it lays down the three major conceptual weaknesses in existing research on democracy and violence. First is the normative assumptions make scholars believe democracies are inherently peaceful. Second, rationalist frameworks overlook emotional or symbolic motivations behind violence. Third is the measurement issues mean subtle coercion is often invisible in data sets. The authors argue that these blind spots distort our understanding of democratic violence. Now, then the thematic areas. This slide highlights the main themes of the article main themes that the article explores. It shows that the violence comes from multiple types of actors and affects how stable democracies remain. It also engages with the important question of why ordinary citizens may support or tolerate violence in a democratic setting. Coming to the critical analysis part. The strengths show that the article contributes to rethinking democracy violence relationships and synthesizes research effectively. The weaknesses show gaps in empirical depth and the risk that the authors claim may not fully apply to all democratic contexts. Then, coming to the relevance and conclusion. The article's relevance extends beyond academia. Like in the light of recent incidents such as the US Capitol insurrection of 2021, electoral violence in India, and the rise of right-wing extremism in Europe, the study's insights illuminate the fragile boundary between democratic contestation and coercion. It challenges policymakers and scholars to acknowledge that democratic institutions are not immune to violence but may under stress become its enablers. This article therefore contributes significantly to debates on democratic resilience, populism, and political polarization in contemporary governance. Now, this article in the concluding remarks, we can say that the article is a seminal piece that invites a rethinking of the presumed harmony between democracy and peace, and violence is not an anomaly but an embedded feature of the democratic politics. Now, at last, there are some references which were referred in the making of this PPT. Thank you.